Welcome to 365 Math. In this video, going to be talking about rationalizing the denominator when we're talking about surds. So when a fraction contains a surd in the denominator, you make the denominator rational using these rules. Rule number 1, for fractions in the form of k over root b, you multiply by root b over root b. And then for fractions in the form of k over a plus root b, you multiply by a minus root b over a minus root b. And then rule number 3, for a fraction in the form of k over a minus root b, you multiply by a plus root b over a plus root b. So these are the rules that we are going to be using. If you look at it, right, if we look at the first rule, we have k over root b. We say we multiply by root b over root b. And then if we look at a plus root b, we multiply by a minus, take note of the sign, it becomes a minus root b. And then where we have a minus root b, we multiply by a plus root b. That's what we use when we want to rationalize the denominator. So I'm going to look at a few examples for you to understand how to rationalize the denominator. Looking at example number 1, which is 1 over root 6, we're going to use rule number 1. Let me name them number 1, number 2, and number 3. So using rule number 1, we have 1 over root 6 multiplied by root 6 over root 6. And by so doing, we get multiplying the numerators together, we get 1 times root 6, which is equal to root 6 over root 6 times root 6, which are the denominators, is equal to 6. Because remember, if we are squaring a square root, for example, the square root of 2, and then we square it, our answer becomes 2. So it is the same thing that we've done here, whereby we have root 6 times root 6, and we got our answer as 6. And then for number 2, we have 2 over root 5. Again, in this example, we are going to be using rule number 1, and that is 2 over root 5 times root 5 over root 5, which is equal to 2 times root 5 is 2 root 5 over root 5 times root 5 gives us 5. And lastly, number 3, we have 12 divided by 5 root 3. And we are going to use again rule number 1, whereby we end up with 12 over 5 root 3 multiplied by root 3 over root 3, which gives us 12 root 3 divided by 5 root 3 times root 3 is actually 5 times 3. And we then have 12 root 3 over 15, which we can further simplify by dividing 12 by 3, which gives us 4, and we divide also 15 by 3, which gives us 5. Hence, our final answer becomes 4 root 3 over 5. Number 4, we have 1 over 5 plus root 3, which we are going to rationalize by saying 1 over 5 plus root 3. And because we have a plus, we're going to multiply by 5 minus root 3 over 5 minus root 3. And multiplying the numerators together, we get 1 times 5 minus root 3. That leaves us with 5 minus root 3 all over 5 plus root 3 multiplied by 5 minus root 3. Now, if we go back to algebra, remember, if we have a minus b multiplying a plus b, our solution would be equal to a squared minus b squared. So it is the same with surds. We have 5 plus root 3 multiplied by 5 minus root 3. So we're going to have 5 squared minus root 3 squared. And then we go ahead and we get 5 minus root 3 divided by 5 squared is 25 minus root 3 squared gives us 3. So we then get 5 minus root 3 all over 25 minus 3 gives us 22. So there you have it. We have rationalized this one and we have used rule number 2. Then for the last example, we have 7 over 2 plus root 5, which we're going to rationalize by saying 7 over 2 plus root 5 multiplied by 2 minus, remember the change of sign, minus square root of 5 over 2 minus root 5. Now multiplying the numerators together, we get 7 times 2 minus root 5, which gives us, let me rewrite it as 7 multiplied by 2 minus root 5 all over 2 plus root 5 multiplying 2 minus root 5. So we then get 7 times 2, that is 14, minus 7 times root 5, that's 14 minus 7 root 5 all over 2 squared minus the square root of 5 squared, which is equal to 14 minus 7 root 5 over 2 squared, that is 4, minus square root of 5 squared, that is 5. So now we have 14 minus 7 root 5 all over negative 1. And if we flip this, it means that we're changing the signs. So now we have 7 root 5, which was a negative, now it's a positive, and the 14, which was a positive, becomes a negative. So that becomes 7 root 5 minus 14. This is the final answer that we have, 7 root 5 minus 14. So there you have it. This is how you rationalize the denominator of a SURD. I hope you learned something, and thanks for watching. Please do hit the subscribe button for more videos. See you in the next one.